Hey there, my friend. Did you know that 76% of shoppers, I've done a lot of research around this, and like my stats, say that they have made a purchase because of a brand that they discovered on social media, that they've gotten to know, that they've gotten to like. That's right, 76%. So the next sort of big thing could be just a post, a story, or a live event away for you. Social selling is not just a buzzword right now. It is turning into a game changer for a lot of my clients and a lot of retailers out there. So today we're breaking down a little bit about what it is, why it matters now, a little bit more than before. I know a lot of you jumped into it during COVID, and a lot of you have been working through it. Some people have set it down and picking it back up now, but it's a great time right now to start leveraging it and boost your sales. It's a great way to build stronger connections with your customers, and it is just an important piece to pay attention to at this stage of retail. Moving forward into 2025, you're really going to want to be looking into connecting and showing your customers, and they are looking for you to do that for them. So grab a coffee, hit play. Let's talk about turning those likes and all those comments and all that stuff that you're doing on social into actual revenue for you. Okay, let's go to it. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. Okay, today we're diving deep into the world of social selling. And what I mean by that is literally that on your socials, selling on your socials. I'm saying socials a lot. Sorry about that. But it's about being social on your socials and selling on your socials. It's really hard not to say that, but that is what we're talking about today. We'll also share some tips from a couple of my mastermind members. We recently had inside my Level Up mastermind group, we have peer-led sessions inside, and Amy from Schoolhouse Salvage, who is killing it with social selling, gave us a whole tutorial and a tip, and she did a presentation for us, and she told us what's working for her. And so I'm going to sneak some of those tips in here for you today and let you know it can be effortlessly. It can be, it takes some work, but it can be such a big advantage to you, because not your competitors aren't all doing it. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is a really big advantage. They are not doing it. And your customers are looking for it. Now, not every customer, not everybody is looking for it, but there is a huge movement of people who are more comfortable now buying off of social media. That was not always the case. There was always people who wanted like QVC and all of that, but now people are just scrolling and clicking. They want to buy from you. And so let's talk a little bit about what social selling is. So it's not just about posting pretty pictures and sharing product links on your website. So that is not social selling. That is just selling. That is just what a lot of you are already doing. It's about creating a conversation. It's about creating community. It's about encouraging people to buy naturally. Like, hey, look at this, look at that. It combines relationship building, engagement, seamless sales opportunities. It can be done through platforms like Instagram, through Facebook, TikTok, and Pinterest even has it right now. I think you can buy through Pinterest. So I'm not sure about that. So don't hold me to that one, but I think you can. And, and even like making it seamless on all of these social platforms. It doesn't mean you have to do all of these social platforms. It means if you are already on Instagram, let's think about it. We're going to master one and we're going to move on. So I want you to think about it that way. YouTube is the other one I was trying to think of. YouTube is another one. A lot of retailers are using YouTube now to sell. So I want you to think of social selling as your digital storefront. You have your website, you have, all of the other things, but this is where your customers can come in, they can interact with you, they can see your products, they can make purchases just like they would do in the store, but they can do it from the comfort of their couch. This is all without leaving their favorite platform. So they get to stay on Facebook, or they get to stay on wherever they are, wherever you're selling. So there are features like shoppable posts and live shopping, like literally you live shopping. You can use things like comment sold. You can do different things and to help your customers explore what you already have. You already have this inventory sitting there. You already have a store full of beautiful things. How can we introduce those new things to more people? If customers are not coming in the door, let's bring the products to the customers. That's how we like to think about social selling. So it's social selling matters now, right now, because that's what our customers are looking for. A lot of customers. It's a pivotal, Wendy can't speak today, moment in the way customers' behavior is changing. And we cannot not pay attention to that. We cannot not pay attention to that. One of the reasons I'm doing this podcast episode today, and why I asked Amy to come into our mastermind group, and maybe we'll get her here on the podcast too one of these days. But one of the reasons, Gary Vee has been talking about it like crazy lately. He's like, it's social selling, it's the new hot thing. And if you haven't seen all his posts around that, just Google Gary Vee and social selling, and you will see what I'm talking about. We have been doing this for a long time. And I say we, a lot of my clients have been doing this. Maybe you have been doing it. And I want you to amplify and sort of optimize it at this stage. So Amy Check, who I keep bringing up from Schoolhouse Salvage, go follow her, go see what she's doing, go buy some of her stuff, because I'll tell you, she's got it nailed. Her and her team have it nailed, but not without a lot of work. She's been doing it for years. She's been doing it. We first started talking about it back in, I think she said, I know I've been working with Amy that long, and we've been talking about it that long. When she just started, made all kinds of mistakes, and you will too. It's just the way it is. But you have to be brave enough to try new things and explore why social selling, or how and why it could work for you. So customers' expectations have changed. I mentioned that a couple of times. Like really it has. They're now prioritizing convenience and connection. We've been talking about that. If you listen to my What to Focus On podcast episode from the beginning of the year, that's what we talked about. We talked about connection. People are looking for connection. They don't just want to shop. So if you are not, if you're not trying to build that into part of your, and you don't have to be best friends with everybody. However, people are looking for a brand that they can connect with and feel good about shopping with. They want to feel a personal connection to a brand, and then they will support you. Social selling lets you meet that need by creating a cool experience and makes them feel, seen, and it makes it feel personal. It is a revenue multiplier. Let me talk about revenue multiplier. Social selling it's not replacing, people just coming in the door. It is not replacing that. It is multiplying the people who buy from you. It's an addition. It's not taking away from anything, which I didn't understand when people first started giving me that argument. I honestly didn't understand what they were saying. That's a myth. So you are opening up another channel for sales, and we need to be increasing our sales channels. We need to be increasing who can buy from us. How far away can they buy from us? We cannot just rely on one sales channel anymore. Those days are gone. So we need to be reaching customers who might not walk through the door, or we might be reaching customers who come into the door all the time and they're regulars and they buy more. They might, they'll jump into your website, they'll buy through your social, they will come when they're in town, but they're not always going to be in town. People are wanting convenience right now. So that, I know that, and it's true. So unless you have so much foot traffic that you do not, and your revenue and your profits are like so great that you don't need to worry about it, or you don't need another revenue stream or a way to increase your revenue, then don't listen to me. But if you do, if you're looking for more customers, this is a revenue multiplier. It also boosts customer loyalty. This is another thing. So when you engage with your audience on social media, you're not just selling. Like, you're not just selling. They are building trust with you. They build loyalty. They engage with you. Customers that are engaged are more likely to become repeat buyers. We know that. I mean, we see that, right? We see it every day. And it helps you stay competitive. As I mentioned at the top of the podcast, your neighbors are not doing this. The shop down the road is not doing this. They are not getting out of their comfort zone. They are not doing it. And if you are doing it right now and not selling, so what I mean by that is a lot of people are doing like try-ons, or maybe you are doing, a favorite Tuesday list or whatever it is. If you are not selling, if you are not giving me the ability to click a button and buy, you are leaving money on the table. We want to be part of it. We want to be able to, we love you and we love what you're showing us. And yes, we might come in, but we want to make sure that you're staying competitive, because your neighbors are not doing that. So don't make me go someplace else. We want you to leverage your social selling so that you ensure you're not left behind. We don't want you to be left behind in the industry, because this is how the industry is moving. Again, it might not be right for you and your business, but I really want you to think about it and don't dismiss it. Another part, a best practice, if you will, for social selling is, and tips, I guess. And some of these tips Amy shared with us, some of the things I've seen and I've absorbed. That's not the right word. What is it? I have written down and taken note of. That's better. Absorbed is probably a really good answer too. But anyhow, show up consistently. So consistency is the backbone for most social selling strategies. Amy, for example, she started by doing a same time, same place, once a week, Thursday night at 7:00, Friday at 4, whatever it is. Consistency, so that your people expect you to show up. She is at the point now, I think they're doing 2 or 3 live sales a day. You don't have to get to that point, but it's working for her and it's working for her team. She has her team organized, and this is not how she started out. But daily, you can do a certain time, pick a time, a date, get your people used to that. Start there. Start just being consistent. Promote it daily on your stories and if you're doing Instagram, but you can promote it across channels. Even if you're over on Facebook selling, or you're doing your social selling over on Facebook, you can promote it in all your channels. Send out emails, do all the things, Friday at 4 or whatever. Get people used to the fact that this is when we do it. So if you have maybe it's just a monthly live event that you're doing, just connect monthly, like same time, same place, same channel, same time, same place, same channel. So they know what to expect. They feel connected. They remember. It seems like they're like, oh yeah, that's right, it's Tuesday. It's like we want people to get to that point, right? So we also want to focus on, it's not just pitching products. This is something I adore about Amy, I adore about a lot of my clients. We are not just pitching products. It's about offering value first. And I see this with a lot of retailers. And this is, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope you have integrity and you're aligned with your customers and you really do want to serve them. You really do believe in the products that you have, right? So you have beautiful books, or you have beautiful pens, or you have beautiful jeans, or you have beautiful jewelry. Show them, tell them why. Share the behind the scenes of why these jeans are really cool, and styling tips, or how it relates to the product. If you have a home decor shop, this, show how to style that particular product some way, and then, we're selling it. So there's lots of retailers doing this really, really well. Another mastermind member, Melanie from Cedar Grove Farms, she does an amazing job with hers. She does a lot of styling and showing and does social selling. Amy Check, again, as I mentioned, from Schoolhouse Salvage. There's just all kinds of retailers doing it. And I'm sure you've seen it. And I just want to encourage you to not just, here's a product. Think about what's in it for your customers. They want to enjoy the process. It's entertainment. It is entertainment, but it's also value. So another thing, it's about engagement. So you really want to, and this is a tip from Amy. You want to, Amy recommends interacting with your audience, through polls, through questions, through comments, like asking them, should we show you the, I don't know, do you like the red one or the white one? Like getting people's comments. We know this. This is not new news. This is not new news for social media. This works really well for engagement. So you're, again, not just broadcasting, you are engaging them. So when someone comments on a post or joins you live, acknowledge them, say hi, respond authentically, like chat with them, say, oh, I see Mary's in the house. Those things matter and they make people feel part of it. So really, you have to embrace live selling. It is one of the fastest growing trends. It's in social selling. It's like hosting a virtual shopping party. So like that's what you're doing. You're like hosting a virtual shopping party. One of the things I hear a lot in I don't want to do it. What is that? Complaints or arguments against it, I guess, is I hear a lot of retailers say, oh, but I don't want to do my hair and I don't, the lighting and all the things. And that's all excuses. Those are excuses because you don't need perfect lighting. You don't need to have your hair done. If you're selling in your shop, if I'm walking into your store today and you're selling to me, you're ready to roll. You're ready to turn the camera on. One thing, and this is funny, Amy and I were talking about with our group, in my mastermind group, when Amy was teaching, is that we walk into stores sometimes and it's really like, and they're like, oh, it's dead. Maybe it's a January Monday or something. You can have that consistency where it's, Tuesday at 7 o'clock for live sales, but you can also turn on the camera any old time. You just need, a really inexpensive tripod, or even like my phone I have like a $30, I don't even know what it's called. It folds up behind my phone and flips down and just like a pop socket or something. That's all you need. Turn live, turn it on, sell some things. It doesn't have to be a big production. It doesn't have to be a big thing if you want to just make some sales today. And I recommend doing this anytime there's like a snowstorm or anything that you're in your shop. Anyway, I digress, as I do sometimes. I apologize. But it does get frustrating seeing retailers in empty stores and complaining that no one's been in today. It's been so slow, yada, yada. Well, turn on your camera and sell something. You have an entire shop full of beautiful things that you love. So gather some things up. Get ready, just take a hot minute, and maybe you could announce, I'm going to go live with a live sale in a few minutes and do a live sale. So some of the things, the question that we get is, how to manage the billing, and there's different ways you can do that. There's programs you can use. Comment Sold is a really popular one for so many. There's lots of other ways that you can do it. If you have a website, you can create products for customers, like a product list, like Amy's blue sweater, or whatever. You can send links after the live sale. You can have two people doing it. This is how most retailers do it. You have two people doing it. You have a broadcaster, somebody who's selling and broadcasting, doing that part of it. And then the other person on the back end of it is maybe dropping links into comments, or like if I'm going to show this beautiful pen, which you can't see that I'm holding up, but I'm going to show this beautiful pen and I'm going to talk about why it's so cool and all of the things, and someone else is dropping the link. So the first person to go buy it, or maybe you have 10 of them and 10 people can go buy it. Don't overthink this. Don't make it complicated. This is a simple thing. It is not complicated. It is important though. It is, there's all kinds of other tips we can share, but I did just want to introduce and remind you about social selling, why it's important, why your customers are looking for it. I would like to remind you that things have changed so much in the last few years. I'm going to use my dad as an example. My dad would never have purchased anything social selling pre-pandemic. And then he got used to it and he saw that, and there's like a whole generation of people who didn't even buy online, and now they're buying online, and now they're social buying. So there was a barrier. People didn't want to buy off Facebook, or they didn't want to buy. So there's that whole side of it. And then there's also the social side of it, where people are commenting and you're talking back to them, and you're seeing people. You know what it's like when you go live and you see people and you acknowledge them. Doing a store tour, just a regular store tour live is amazing. Like, customers love it. They love it. You know why they love it? They love you. They love what you're doing. They love the products that you're selling. They love the business that you're building. They love your brand. Build more lovers of your brand. And you can ask, you can get them to share it out, and, hopefully the ripple effect will happen and their friends will see it as well too. And anyway, that's a whole kettle of fish, but we'll talk about that another time. I wanted to just introduce you and remind you about social selling. I wanted you to consider it. I want you to think about it. And I would love to continue this conversation over on my Instagram post. If you're a member of the Inner Circle, a Retailer's Inner Circle program, and if you're not, why are you not a member of the Inner Circle program? We can definitely continue the conversation there. We'll get Amy to jump into that program as well too. She's in the Retailers Inner Circle program, and we will have a full roundtable and masterclass on this coming up this month. So I'm excited. Not the masterclass will not be this month. The roundtable will be this month, and we will continue the conversation around social selling. Okay, my friends, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for considering listening about social selling. I hope you're having a fantastic month. I hope things are going really well for you. We will be back here the same time, same place next week. So it would be awesome if you joined us, if you click the subscribe button, if you haven't already. And another favor, it would be wonderful if you would share this podcast episode with any of your biz BFFs. Do you have any retail business friends? I'm sure you do. We would love it if you found this helpful. I say we, I mean me, but I do have a team. But I personally would really love it. I consider it like podcast currency. We spend a lot of time, a lot of effort doing the podcasts, and we offer it for free, obviously. And we would just love if you would share the information, share the podcast with your friends if you found it helpful. Okay. I want to know, are you going to do social selling? Please tell me. I would love to know. Let me know if you're already doing it. I want to follow you. If you are not doing it, why are you not doing it? Let's continue that conversation over on Instagram or over in my Retailers Inner Circle program. Let's go. See you next week, my friend. Thanks for being here. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you were here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.